Hey guys, welcome back to 5nothing100nothing.com. I am Fugit, the fittest underdog guru using intelligent tactics. All right, guys, today I want to talk to you about timing and relationships. Okay, there's I saw a quote not that long ago. I think it was on Instagram or something, but it was one of the MGTOW community. If you're not familiar with MGTOW, I've talked about it on the channel. But it basically stands for men going their own way, okay? And I've talked about, like in a recent video, about red pill and my feelings on that. And at first glance, when I saw this quote from a MGTOW guy, I really like this guy's channel. It's a lot of useful information for men that need to get their shit together and start, working and living on their purpose, and having a little bit of self-awareness, self-esteem, and all of those things. But the quote, and it's off the top of my head right now, but it basically said, it's not your turn, it's just your time. And it was speaking to a guy that gets the girl, and he wants her, this and that, and the timing was right. And their position is that from a position kind of rooted in a little bit of bitterness, where you're not going to be able to keep her forever, so just enjoy the ride, enjoy her for now. And the truth is that could happen, and it's happened in my life as well. But I think if you embed that philosophy into your head, and you approach your relationships, or when you meet somebody from that position, you're already self-sabotaging. And if you want a long-term relationship and you want to be with somebody, then you can't look at it from that perspective of it's just your turn. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, but I know it has its place. So anyways, timing in relationships. It's interesting because, I think we all know people that will say on their deathbed or as years go by, there's the one that got away, right? The one that was perfect for me and, was like everything I could want, and somehow it got screwed up, right? Now, let's assume that this person really, with all your nostalgia and stuff, really was that great of a person, but memories and nostalgia can be a liar, as I've talked about here before. And sometimes, you romanticize, times in your life because, the way it made you feel, maybe a place you were in your life, you were younger, whatever it is, right? And if it was on you, yeah, maybe it was, that is the one that got away and you weren't ready for somebody like that. But the thing is, you can't look back and dwell and have regrets. What you have to do if you want to move forward and be happy and have hope for the future and have a better life is to think about, what can I learn from that situation? What can I learn from that experience? How can I not either attract to or start a relationship with somebody like that again, if it was, a situation where they chose not to be with you, or you missed some little holes in their character and their conduct, whatever it is, right? But if it was you, then yeah, you need to do the work on yourself, which I beat into the ground all the time, is, you have to be in love with yourself. You have to put yourself first. You have to work on you and, have your shit together, and at least more together, so that when and if somebody who knocks your socks off comes into your life, you're ready. You don't have to have it all lined up and everything perfect in your life, but you got to be on your way. And so, yeah, timing is critical. You could meet somebody who's amazing, and you start to date, and then you see, them have a meltdown, or they're still in love with an ex, or it's not quite figured out. There's no closure or complete closure with somebody in their past, or somebody in your past, right? Where if you still have feelings and it doesn't feel like there was ever true closure for you, whether it's a matter of you believing that or they believing that, whatever it is, before you can really have a real solid, strong, healthy relationship, I think you have to put those things to bed. And you know, I've known people to the contrary that have been trying to get away from an ex, and so they meet someone else and they will, you know, try to use that person, or what they call it, vine swinging, one relationship to the next, because the truth is they're insecure and afraid to be alone, and they have a scarcity mentality that they don't want to be alone and they need to have somebody there. And that's why they maybe stayed in the relationship in the first place, was because they simply didn't know if they could replace this other person. So it was better to have something, something rather than nothing. So in a sense, settling. And that's really no way to live your life. And, you know, if that's your natural mindset, then again, you've got a lot of work to do on yourself and a lot of growing, so that when you do meet somebody who knocks your socks off and is amazing and checks your boxes of what you want in a relationship, you're going to be the kind of quality of person that's going to be able to not only attract but maintain that relationship, a high level of attraction, and be ready to start another chapter in your life with somebody that makes you happy, makes you smile, gives you a little glow. And when you can't do that, when you're not in a good place, the timing isn't right. And yeah, it could be sabotage. But, you know, I've said in previous videos, there's another bus coming every 15 minutes, right? And it's not to dismiss the value of any person, but it's really so that you can not build an altar and worship at any one person's feet, and keep everything in perspective, right? I mean, who knows how long we have on this earth? You could be dead tomorrow. You might be here in 60, 70, 80 years, who knows? But at the end of the day, you know, people change, people grow, people evolve. Sometimes they fall apart, and it's nothing that you can do yourself to help or hinder that. But all you can do is be your best you and show up to the dance wearing, you know, your best you on your sleeve, and be ready for, you know, I say in the morning when I get ready for work, I like to have clothes laid out. I know what I'm going to eat for breakfast. I know what I'm going to have for snacks or lunch or whatever. And I start my day as proactive as I possibly can, so that I can be reactive to when life throws you a curveball and, you know, a customer changes something, or a boss does something, or, you know, you have a fender bender, whatever it is, you know. Get ahead of the game early on. And, you know, in the same way with relationships, if you're not in one, then this is the best time ever to be selfish and work on yourself and get your stuff together, you know. I'm a big fan of planning. Write it down, have a plan, be realistic, but be systematic, and check off some boxes and get your stuff together, so that when the timing comes, or serendipity, or whatever the heck you believe about meeting somebody, you'll be ready to foster a good relationship, if in fact that other person is ready as well. Okay, so be the hero of your own story. You know, rescue you, work on you, be your best you, so that you can be better for everybody else. Like, share, subscribe. Take care, you guys. Hope you enjoyed.